bobsleigh, luge, and skeleton, collectively known as the sliding sports, crashes are an inevitability.
Tearing down the hill! Oh my goodness!
It's traumatic, it's aggressive, it's anything that is extreme times 10. To think that somebody has gone to the Olympics without having had an episode like a crash is very unlikely.
Christina Smith is a trailblazer in the sport of bobsled.
One of the most experienced drivers in the field.
But in the years since she's retired, she started to experience troubling symptoms.
Long-term, short-term memory loss, anxiety, fear, depression, the inability to really stay focused and have emotional regulation.
Eventually, she was diagnosed with a traumatic brain injury, even though she'd never once been diagnosed with a concussion.
Just the fact that I was losing something of myself that I didn't realize potentially could have been contributed to the effects of the multiple runs, multiple...
Oh, wait, you're dumb. What do you mean, fucking you're dumb? Wait, you're mad at me you're mad at me because you think I'm wrong? No, you're mad at me because I'm right. I can't win. I can't win.
Concussions that actually I'd never been diagnosed with my entire career.
There's growing evidence that when it comes to the sliding sports, catastrophic concussions like the ones you get from crashing might not be the main driver of brain injury. Micro concussions are. Concussions so mild they can often go unnoticed, and so common that they have a special name, sledhead. To understand how sledhead happens, you have to know how concussions work. Your brain is soft, with a jello-like consistency. Normally, it's pretty well protected by layers of bone and tissue, but if your head gets hit, or shook around, or just moves too fast, your brain can shift inside its protective casing, bumping up against the sides of your skull. When that happens, the fragile neurons that make up your brain can stretch or even tear. And when they tear, they release toxins that can harm other neurons, triggering a chain reaction of damage and leaving your brain vulnerable to further injury. Concussions are serious and come with scary side effects. But for the most part, they heal with time and rest. The problem is, not all concussions are obvious.
Hey, if you got out of that sled and you're just a little bit dizzy and then all of a sudden it's like, no, I'm good, and you're full of adrenaline, and essentially if you have the will and the desire to get back up and dust yourself off and do it again, so be it.
But even a mild concussion is a concussion, and if it's not given the time to heal, the damage can become more serious and cause more enduring symptoms.
That kind of scattered brain and, inability to focus. So a lot of those little things.
It's all those little things that make up sledhead.
Well, Maine doesn't prove anything. What the fuck are you talking about, bitch ass? Are you stupid? Bro, you make fun of me for not being able to read, and you can't listen to a video. I mean, at this point, you're like the fucking kid with like a square puzzle, and you're slamming the fucking circle into it. Circle, not working. Like, and then, bro, you're fucking brain dead.
From the outside, sledding sports look smooth, a graceful, if fast, run down an icy track. But inside a sled, things look and feel very different. Sledding is, in a way, inherently brain-rattling. Even during the smoothest ride, a sledder is tossed about, shaken, bumped, whipped around corners.
It's so extreme that if you haven't gone to the bathroom, if you haven't blown your nose, and if you haven't stretched, you have no idea what's going to happen to you.
There's lots of bouncing and people moving quickly. The heads are going everywhere.
Peter McCarthy is a
Chat, I thought it would be the sudden minimal alterations in the ice, making a height shift that makes the small things stretch in your brain.
Forces affect our bodies. He told me that sledding is a lot like a very, very intense roller coaster.
Well, these are vibrations.
And they've got lots of vibrations, and they've got high.
Chat, you're gonna have to suck it, Loki. Yeah, I mean, because I'm not really mad.
G, as in
I'm gonna keep it a bug.
Roughly the force of gravity or acceleration on an object.
xQc.
Going for a stroll on Earth, you're experiencing 1 g-force. Riding an average roller coaster, around 5. Military fighter pilots average 9 Gs. And the average football player receives 103 Gs when hit during a game. The G-force of an average concussion is hard to measure or generalize, but one researcher found that most diagnosed ones have a G-force between 85 and 95. And when another researcher measured the G-force of his own skeleton ride at the Whistler Olympic track, at its highest here, he recorded 84.5 G-force.
On.
That spike only happened for a few milliseconds. But spikes like it can happen with every run.
Yeah, but chat, even if it's that small though, the neurons are so small that even after a fraction, it causes those tears. It doesn't even matter if your whole body doesn't move, if you don't get shifted entirely. Even the small others of your brain.
And then there are the vibrations.
XYZ
Long-term exposure
location
to
will stretch
vibrations
it.
can lead to a range of serious health issues, affecting basically all of your body's systems. There are even international guidelines about how much vibration someone should encounter in a given period. And when Peter attached devices on the helmets, sleds, and backs of skeleton athletes to measure how much they were encountering, preliminary results showed that doing just one run could potentially put you over the limit.
Sled head is a phenomenon which seems to be neurological in nature, and as a consequence you're thinking that maybe the vibrations are getting through into the brain, and that could be the cause.
All racing sports deal with both G-force and vibration to a certain extent.
But they're also
normally they get dispersed throughout your body.
I mean,
when you're in the sled.
they're also gradual, are they not? Chat, if you suffer a lot of G's in a curve, maybe gradually it'll in the brain, but it's not being shaken suddenly, right?
There's not much between your brain and the vibrations.
I was so close and low that I had chips of paint and scratches on the side of my helmet from just tapping going all the way down the track.
F1 cars have suspensions and shit. It takes some of the vibration, some of it,
had a
but
crash,
yeah,
nothing
as
would
well.
happen, but that just
When they hit the curb,
built up over time.
that
like
shit fucking
snowball.
slams.
Years
brother.
after she stopped sledding, Christina went to a specialist who ran a test called a quantitative electroencephalogram, or QEEG.
The beauty of this is that it can actually see where your brain is
I've had that before.
firing, not firing at all, or partially or too much.
When doctors analyzed her results, they saw this. Roughly, the red shading correlates to overactivation. In a brain that hadn't experienced trauma, those areas would be white.
It was like a aha moment for me. It really highlighted what I had been going through, and I was no longer hard on myself. It was very common to overlook our own experiences because we're always about the show must go on.
There's only so much we can learn from one person's brain scans or the data from a few runs.
It needs an objective assessment of the discipline, basically, because if we just allow people to keep doing this, we don't know if it's safe for them to do that at the intensity they're doing it.
One way to better look after
When the show must go on, it's a stupid mindset. What do you think?
Saying the cast of Cool Runnings all have
Like it's Cool Runnings, I know what that is. But I mean, a lot of people have CT and they don't even know yet. I'm sure there's some fields that are not even being studied, or they're not even measuring the impacts and the G's and the vibrations or whatever. A bunch of them. Why me? I'm at the computer all day. Your mother might have CT by how hard she whips her fucking head around when she sucks on my fucking cock. Shut the fuck up! What's this so annoying today, man?
Athletes is to require them to wear a monitor.
A simple sensor system could detect an impact and have that person immediately flagged for treatment and possibly sitting out until they've recovered fully.
And there are some exciting developments in tech, like virtual reality trainings that can reduce ice time, or an FDA-approved collar that increases blood volume in your brain, giving it better cushioning. In the future, new materials could dampen vibrations in the sled. But the federation that...
The sport is shit. I mean, the sport should be abolished. It's not cool enough. It's not fun enough. I mean, I'm not trying to be rude. I think all sports are cool, and people that do that, I respect them. But in general, I think the interest from the outer world in the sport is very little, except for the Olympics, and even then people just watch it because it's their country. And I mean, some things need to be phased out. That the sport that kind of dog shit. I mean,
controls sliding sports needs to make these available.
I would assume that because of how much it takes to practice this, most people that do this as a sport want to be in the Olympics. Compared to how many people do basketball, how many people that do basketball want to go in the Olympics? Probably very few. They just play because whatever, right? Compared to how many people that want to be in the Olympics, how many people do the sledding? Probably a close correlation. I mean,
or even mandatory.
And I feel that that's a sort of, hopefully, a way forward, but who knows? It depends on international bodies to make these.
No, nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying it. That's inherently a problem because it's meant to be fun. Things meant to be fun.
That keep the body alive. The athletes are the lifeblood of any sport, and you need to protect them, in my mind.
I mean, they're inherently a hobby. If more people do a sport, not out of fun or the hobby of it, but because they can be something at it, it's inherently a problem. And I'll always say this. It's also a problem with video games. If even 10% of players only play a game because they can be pro at it, the game is shit. The game is shit, should probably be abolished. I don't give a fuck about it. Because they're inherently hobbies that are meant to enhance your life. Not some shit that you're gonna get something out of, whatever. And these are important. They're part of your life.